Chapter 7 Suggestion for Project Work. The chapter suggests some small fictional practical research projects that you can try out. There is a big difference between reading about research and actually doing it. Practical experience of trying to answer a question and collecting evidence systematically is a valuable experience. This experience will hopefully introduce you to excitement and also some of the difficulties of sociological research. Before you read this chapter, please refer once again to Chapter 5 in Class 11 textbook Introducing Sociology. The projects suggested here have tried to anticipate the potential problems organizing this kind of activity for a large number of students in different kinds of schools located in different kind of context. These are intended to give you a feel for research. A real research project would obviously be more elaborate and involve much more time and effort than is possible in your setting. These are meant as suggestions. Feel free to think up ideas of your own in consultation with your teachers. Every research question needs an appropriate or suitable research method. A given question may be answered with more than one method, but a given research method is not necessarily appropriate for all questions. In other words, for most research questions, one has a choice of possible methods, but this choice is usually limited. One of the first tasks of the researcher after carefully specifying the research question is to select a suitable method. The selection must be done not only according to technical criteria but also practical considerations. These latter might include the amount of time available to do the research, the resources available in terms of both people and materials, circumstances or situations in which it has to be done, and so on. For example, let us suppose you are interested in comparing co-educational schools with boys only and girls only schools. This of course is a broad topic. You must first formulate a specific question that you want to answer. Example could be, do students in co-educational school do better in studies than students in boys or girls school only? Are boys only schools always better than co-educational schools in sports? Are children in single sex schools happier than children in co-educational schools? Or some other questions. Having decided on a specific question, next step is to choose appropriate method. For the last question, are school children in single sex schools happier? For example, you could choose to interview students of different kind of schools. In the interview, you can ask them directly how they felt about their school. You could then analyze the answers you collect to see if there is any difference between those who attend different kind of schools. As an alternative, you could try to use a different method, say that of direct observation, to answer the research question. This means that you would have to spend time in co-educational schools, boys and girls schools, observing how students behave. You would have to decide on some criteria by which you could say if students are more or less happy in their school. So after observing different kind of schools for sufficient time, you could hope to answer the question. A third method you could use is to survey method. How students. This would involve preparing a questionnaire designed to get information on how students felt there about their schools. You would then distribute the questionnaire to an equal number of students in each kind of school. You would then collect the filled-in questionnaires and analyze the results. Here are some examples of some practical difficulties that you might face when doing research of this kind. Suppose you decide to do a survey. You must first make enough copies of the questionnaire. This involves time, effort, and money. Next, you may need permission from teachers to distribute the questionnaire to students in their classroom. You may not get permission for the first time, or you may be asked to come back later. After you have distributed the questionnaire, you may find people have not bothered to return it or have not answered all the questions, or other such problems. You then have to decide how to deal with this. Go back to your respondents and ask them to complete the questionnaires or ignore the completed questionnaires and consider only the complete ones. Consider only the completed answers. And so on. You must be prepared to deal with such problem during research work. Variety of methods. You may remember the discussion of research method in class 5 of 11th textbook Introducing Sociology. This might be a good time to revisit the chapter and refresh your memory. A survey usually involves asking a relatively number of people, such as 30, 100, 2000, and so on, What is considered large depends on the context asked by the investigator. In person, where they are read out to the respondent and his or her answer are noted down by the investigator, or the questionnaire may be handed over to the respondents who then fill it up themselves and give it back. The main advantage of survey is that it can cover a lot of people, so that the results are truly representative of the relevant group or population. A disadvantage is that the questions to be asked are already fixed. No on the spot adjustments are possible. So, if a question has been understood by the respondent, then wrong or misleading results can be produced. If a respondent says something interesting, then this cannot be followed up with further questions on the subject because you have to stick to the questionnaire format. Moreover, questionnaires are like a snapshot taken one particular moment. Situation may lead later or may have been different before, but the survey wouldn't capture this. Interviews. An interview is different from survey in that it is always conducted in person and usually involves fewer persons, as few as 5, 20, or 40. Usually, not more than that. Interviews may be structured, that is, follow up predetermined matter of questions, or unstructured, where only a set of topics is pre-decided and the actual questions emerge as part of a conversation. Interviews may be more or less intensive in the sense that one may interview a person for a long 2-3 hours or in repeated visits to get a really detailed version of their story. Interviews have the advantage of being flexible in that promising topics may be pursued in greater detail. Questions may be refined or modified along the way, and clarification may be sought. The disadvantage of the interview method is that it cannot cover a large number of people and is limited to presenting the views of a select group of individuals. Observation. Observation is a method where the researcher must systematically watch and record what is happening in whatever context or situation that has been chosen for research. This sounds simple but may always be easy to do in practice. Careful attention has to be paid to what is happening without prejudging what is relevant to the study and what is not. Sometimes what is not happening is as important or interesting as what does actually happen. For example, if your research question is about how different classes of people use specific open spaces, then it is significant that a given class or group of people never enter the space or are never seen it. Combination of two or more than one method. You can also combine methods to approach the same research question from different angles. In fact, it is often highly recommended. For example, if you are researching the changing place of mass media sources like newspaper and television in social life, you could combine a survey with archival methods. The survey will tell you that what is happening today, while the archival method might tell you what magazines, newspaper, or television programs were like in the past. Possible themes and subjects for small research project. Here are some suggestions about possible research topics. You can always choose other topics in consultation with your teachers. Remember that there are only topics. You need to select specific question based on these topics. Remember also that most methods that can be used with most of the topics, but that the specific question chosen must be suitable for the method chosen. You can also use combination of methods. The topics are in no particular order. Topics that can be obviously or directly derived from your textbooks have been emphasized because it will be easier for you and your teachers to think of your own project related to the text. Public transport. What does it play in people's lives? Who needs it? Why do they need it? To what degree different type of people dependent on public transport? What sort of problems and issues are associated with public transport? How forms of public transport been changing over time? Does differential access public transport cause social problems? Are there groups who do not need public transport? What is their attitude towards it? You could also take up the case of a particular form of transport, say the tonga or the rickshaw or the train, and write about its history in relation to your own town or city. What are the changes in its mode of transport has gone through? Who have been its main rivals? Is the competition with rivals being lost or won? For what reason? What is likely future of this mode of transport? Will anyone miss it? If you live in Delhi, try to find out more about Delhi Metro. Could you write a science fiction like account for what metro would be like in 50 years, say in 2050 or 2060? Role of communication media and social life. Communication media could include the mass media like newspaper, television, films, internet, and so on. That is media which convey information and are seen accessed by a large number of people. It could also include the media that people use for communicating with each other, such as telephone, letters, mobile phones, email, and internet. In these areas, you could try to investigate, for example, the changing place of mass media. In social life and the shifts within the major formats like print, radio, television, and so on. At a different level, you could try to ask a group of people different sort of question about likes and dislikes of a particular group regarding films, books, and etc. How do people perceive the new communication media and their impact? What can we learn through observation and inquiry about their place in people's life? Observation allows you to capture the divergence, if any, between stated views and actual behavior. What are some of the consequences of shift in format? What are the reasons why people prefer one or the other format? Alternatively, you could think of doing number of projects based on content analysis of media and how they have treated particular themes or subjects such as, for example, schools and school education, environment, caste, religious conflicts, sport events, local versus national, regional news, etc. Household appliances and domestic work. This refers to the devices used for work in the household such as gas, kerosene or other type of stoves, mixies, grinders and food processors of various kinds. The electric or the other kind of iron for ironing clothes, washing machines, ovens, toaster, pressure cooker and so on. How has work within the household changed over time? Has the coming of these devices changed the nature of work and especially the intra-household division of labor? What are the people who use these devices? Are they mostly men or women, young or old, paid or unpaid workers? How do users feel about them? Have they really worked the work easier? Have there been any changes in age related jobs done within the household? Alternatively, you could simply concentrate on how domestic tasks are distributed within the household, who does what, and whether there have been changes lately. Use of public space. This research is about different uses of public space is put. For example, some spaces support a lot of small scale commercial activity like roadside vendors, small temporary shops, and parking lots. Other spaces seem empty but get used in different ways to hold marriage or religious functions, for public meetings, as a dumping ground for various kind of things. Many spaces are occupied by poor homeless people and become in effect their homes. Try to think of research questions in this general area. What do people from different classes feel about the use of public space? What kind of a resource do they represent for these groups? How has the use of a particular open space in your neighborhood been changing over time? Has it generated any conflicts or frictions? What are the reasons for this conflict? Changing aspiration of different age groups. Did you always have the same ambition throughout your life? Most people change their goals, especially at young ages. This research topic tries to discover what these changes are and whether there are any patterns to the changes across. Can you trace the social relations through which the item was produced, traded, or purchased? What is its symbolic significance for its owners, for you, your family, or for the community? If it could think and talk, what would your television set or motorcycle have to say about the people it meets or sees?